Good afternoon or good evening, Amers of Ohio. In our first video of this Ostara season, which was given about 2 weeks ago, we talked a little bit about the new ways and the old ways of this religion, of this holiday. So today, we're going to get a little bit into the basics of spells and divination. Like all Sabbats, each one lends itself to the ideal time of work with different energies to bring about change. When it comes right down to it, a spell is simply a way of making a change occur. So the spells in this section are going to deal with helping make certain changes manifest within your life. Ones that work with the energies of Ostara and the equinox. We will also look at what types of questions it is a good time to be asking in your divination work. While Ostara is about new beginnings, sometimes starting over is one of the hardest things we can ever imagine doing. Whether it's starting a new job, starting a new life without a spouse or significant other, or maybe even starting a new life with a new spouse or significant other. Change is hard, even when the change is for the better. Sometimes, even though we know something may be for the best, that doesn't make it easier on us to deal with. Most of us fight against the change. It's natural instinct, which often doesn't get us anywhere, but becoming frustrated. Even when the change is something we want, it can be difficult to adjust to it. But when the change is something we do not want, it can feel downright suffocating. To have to do something we have to do, but we don't want to. This specific candle spell is going to help relax the mind enough to open up the new possibilities this new change may present, and therefore it will also make you more accepting of the changes that is taking place within your life. This is called the spell to assist in difficult changes. You will need 2 candles for the spell. One black and one blue. And something to light them with, like a lighter. You will also need a place where you can be alone, cast a circle, and be at about eye level with the flame of your candle. This should be in a safe location to burn your candles, where they won't be in danger of falling asleep, or if at all possible, you should perform this spell outside. Set the 2 candles next to each other. Where you won't be in danger of falling asleep. So the 2 candles next to each other, black on the left and blue on the right. Cast your circle as you normally would, and then either sit or stand in front of them. Take a moment to take several deep breaths and to empty your mind of all other thoughts, particularly if you're already stressed out about change you are here to work on. Relax as much as you can while still focusing on what the problem is, but feel yourself getting distance from it. Light the black candle, and as you do, say either aloud or to yourself the following: the confusion, hurt, and stress I feel burn away inside this flame. The change I face is made for me. No other can take my pain. Spend some time staring into the flame of the candle. Project your hurt, sadness, confusion, stress, anger, or any other negative emotions you have regarding this change into the flame of that candle. Imagine those feelings burning up into the flame and turning into nothing but smoke that disappears into the air. Spend as much time as you can or as you need doing this. When you think you are done, take a few moments to just relax. See if more of those feelings come to the surface. And if they do, go back to projecting them back into the candle. Give yourself a couple breaks. Do a stress check. Each time you do, once you can tell you really do feel a bit better, go ahead and move to the next part of the spell. The next part of the spell, you will light the blue candle and say, moving forward, moving on. Changes must be made. The past is gone. It slips away from my mind to fade. The future is what matters now. I need my strength. So bold. To make the change I must make and let them take a hold. Now stare into the flame of the blue candle. Imagine positive reactions and results from whatever these changes are. Keep anything negative out. If negative thoughts creeps in, turn back to the black candle and send it into that flame instead. Keep all your positive thoughts going into the flame of the blue candle, where they are absorbed by the flame and then disappeared into the universe. Keep the negative thoughts going inside into the black candle, where they are burned up and destroyed. Go back and forth between both candles as much as you feel necessary. When all the negative emotions are gone and you feel ready to take on this new challenge, move back to the black candle and say, negative feelings, I don't need you. I cleanse you and release you into the air. Blow the black candle out, allowing the feeling to just float off and away. Next, back to the blue candle and say, these changes I make are for the best. I accept you and release you into my surroundings. This time you're going to blow the blue candle out gently, allowing the positive energy to stay in the room with you and permeate in the air. You may need to perform this spell several times over to fully rid yourself of the negative feelings associated with change, which you have to make. Small changes won't take as long, but are harder, more difficult changes may need you to perform this spell nightly for a couple of weeks or until you feel you have things more under control within your life. Then you can cut down to once a week, once every other week, finally to once a month, and then only if you feel those feeling trying to creep back into you again. If you have more than one change going on at a time, you can work on those at the same time. Just be careful not to overwhelm yourself, particularly in the beginning. If it starts to feel like it's too much to deal with at once, then break those changes down into separate sessions. What about sneeze? Pardon me. Excuse me. Separate sessions until you are strong enough to tackle them all at once. And work your way back up to combining them as you work on chipping them away. For example, by the time you get down to once a month, you should be able to combine several together, if need be, and work on them all at the same time. If you can't do many at once, don't worry about it. Everyone handles stress differently, so make sure you do what works best for you. That is your first spell and your first entry into the Ostara program. And I'll be back in another video with spell number 2, which will be restore balance to your life. Ostara is all about new beginnings and new undertakings and getting rid of the old ones. So I hope this helps everyone, and I will see you all next time. Peace.